Good evening, everyone. This is BremSter, and it must be nice to have Washington on your side. So, this is the next puzzle in the Hamilton Sudoku series, and I'm glad I'm recording as many of these as possible before I go to New Zealand, because by the time this puzzle comes out, I am going to be miserable about Hamilton, because I will have seen the show for the very last time. At least with the crew that and cast that I have fallen in love with. Um, so yeah, the series of puzzles are designed to be more approachable, things that I can record in bulk, because believe me, I am. They were created when it was a very stressful time in my life, and I had almost no time to record. And then my life fell apart, and they were very, very useful for me to be able to just sit down and spend an afternoon recording over a week's worth of puzzles. And I'm continuing to do that because I'm about to disappear for a few weeks. So I'm literally recording at this point nearly 3 weeks, actually, I think over 3 weeks in advance. So yeah, it's been very helpful for me to be able to just put these in the bank, schedule them, and just let them run. That's why you're seeing simple thumbnails for them as well. The least time I can spend on getting these out, the better, because I'm going to be away for effectively 3 weeks. So there'll be a few days in the middle where I'm going to try and fill some gaps. Let's have a look at the puzzle, shall we? It Must Be Nice, by Aaron Burr. I don't know who the setters are of these puzzles, but they're all designed to be approachable, and apparently this one is, so we'll see how it goes. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and digits may not repeat within cages. So, for example, while you could probably make 21 by going 9, 9, and 3, that is not correct, because two nines in a cage is just wrong. And the final rule, which is the one that is dedicated to the title, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. The digit 1, Washington, must always be orthogonally connected to Hamilton, his right-hand man, to 2, and vice versa. So wherever there is a 2 in this puzzle, it must be orthogonally connected to a 1. Orthogonally just means shares an edge. So these two cells are orthogonally connected. These two cells are not orthogonally connected. Then I must be able to draw a little X connecting a 1 to a 2. It might be an interesting way of doing it. And vice versa. So every 2 must also be connected to a 1. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this one a shot. First thing I can see is I'm drawing the wrong thing. There is a 3 cage. A 3 cage can only be 1 and 2, and this one is giving me the order 2 and 1. So what I can do is I can put a little X here saying the 2 and the 1 are connected. There are some other cages that are forced. So a 24 is a 7, 8, 9. The 3 largest Sudoku digits cannot repeat digits in either the box or the cage, so therefore it must be a 7, 8, 9. Similarly here, this 24 must be 7, 8, 9, and a 7 cage can only be 1, 2, and 4. And the reason for that is the 3 smallest digits are 1, 2, and 3, which come to 6. If I must increase one of those digits by 1 in order to get to 7. But I can't increase the 1 or the 2 without causing a double up in the cage. If I increase the 1, I'd have 2, 2, 3. If I increase the 2, I'd have 1, 3, 3. So the only digit I can increase is the 3, and I end up with 1, 2, 4. This 7 cage is the same, 1, 2, 4. Now, I could end up, well, this can't be 1 or 2, so this is the 4, which means this is 1, 2. This can't be 1, 2 because it sees 1, 2, and those ones are going to see each other. So those are locked in. Now, I must have a 2 next to this 1 because this 1 must touch a 2, and it's not there, so this is a 2, and those now see each other. Okay. Now, I'm not assuming that these see each other because it's possible, for example, if it was here and here, this would have to see a 1 or a 2 there, and it can't. Because, right, I think this has to be the 1, 2. Because if this is 1, oh no, it could be 1, 2 here. But wherever the 1, that can't be a 4, I don't think. Because if this is a 4, these would be 1 and 2. And where would this get 1, 2 get its partner from? Because it wouldn't get it from there. That's a 4. Couldn't get it from there because the other 1, 2 is there. And it can't get it from there. This is 1, 2. This cannot be a 4. So that is a 1 or a 2. And it's going to see one of those is 1 or 2. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is a 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 3, 5, and 6. This is a 17 cage without a 4 in it. I'm going to use the killer calculator liberally. This is a 6 cage, which is either 1, 5 or 2, 4. So this is 1 or 2. And so it's 1, 5 or 2, 4, but this 1, 2 needs a partner, which it must get from one of those 3 cells. And it can't get it from there. So one of those is a 1, 2. And it can't get it from there because there's already a 1, 2 pair in the column. So this 1, 2 needs a partner in one of those 2 cells. And that puts a 1 or a 2 in a 14 cage, but that's not a problem. Now, a 15 cage is either 4, 5, 6 or that's a 1, 2 pair. Where do I put the 1? These are 7, 8, 9, and 1 and 2 by Sudoku are here, and they just see each other. I could have just done that earlier. So this 14, right, okay, let's get rid of the wrong stuff and just do this by math. This is 24, this is 3, so that's 27, plus 14 is 37, 41, that's a 4. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 5, and 6 add to 14. So that is a 3, 5, 6, and now we have some sort of sense in the world. Okay. So where I was coming from is this is either 4, 5, 6. So a 15 cage, and this is something you just learn with practice, but a 15 cage, if you look at all the ways of making it up, is either 4, 5, 6, all of the middle digits, or it's got a low digit, a middle digit, and a high digit. And the only low digit that would be available is 3. So it's a 15 cage without a 1 or a 2. So if it's a 3, I need another 12, which is 8, 4, or no, I can't use 9, 3, 8, 4, or 7, 5. So it's 3, 8, 4, or 3, 5, 7, or it's 4, 5, 6. I'm not seeing a problem with any of those yet. If it's 4, 5, 6, this would be 4, 5, 6. That'd be 3. Maybe this 20 cage. Does a 20 cage have to have, in 5, have to have a 1 or a 2 in it? Does a 20 cage in 5 have to have a 1 or a 2 in it? If it doesn't, then it would be 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Well, 4, 5, 6, and 7 has already blown the total, hasn't it? Because 4, 5 is 9, 6 and 7 is 13. I'm already at 22. So this must have a 1 or a 2 in it. Right. Now, I can't put a 1 or a 2 there, because if this is 1 or 2, the other one is there, and I can't make any of those cells 1 or 2. So there's a 1 or a 2 in one of these. So the 1s and 2s are in here, all of them. So this is not 1 or 2, and this is 1 or 2, meaning that this is the pairing up here. Because remember, this had to get a pair from one of those because it can't be there because of this. Now, either of these could be. It doesn't have to connect to this because it could get another. No, it can't. Very clever. Okay, so this can't be a 1 or a 2 because where would it get its partner from? If this is 1, 2, that's a 1, 2, and I can't put a 1 or a 2 in either of those. And I can't put a 1, 2 there because then I'd have 3 1s and 2s in the column. So this is not the 1, 2. Get in the right mood. This is not the 1, 2. This is the 1, 2, and that is a 1, 2 pair. And those are also connected, but I'm going to put that in because it means I've got those connections. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, and now I've got This 14 cage can't have 1, 2 in it at all. So the minimum... Wait a minute, this 1, 2 cage can't have... Okay, let's start highlighting 1s and 2s. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We know those are definitely 1s and 2s. Where can't I put 1 and 2? Okay, so let's do that as well. So 1 and 2 cannot go in any of those cells. It can't 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 go in those cells or those cells. These cells, which I'm marking grey, cannot be 1s or 2s. This is a 1 or a 2. Must be. Right. Now, these can't be 1 or 2 because I've got 1, 2 in the row already. If this was a 1 or 2, where's it going to get its partner from? It would have to get its partner from there, and that's 3 1s and 2s in the box. So that's not a 1 or a 2. If this is a 1 or a 2, where does it get its partner from? It would have to be there, and that's 3 1s or 2s in the box. So this is not a 1 or a 2. This is a 1 or a 2. I can make it yellow, which means that this, when I find the mode, becomes red. Now, I can come back here and say, hello, ladies and gentlemen, that is a 1, 2 pair. That is the 4, which is not 1 or 2. This is not the 4. This is, I'm going to keep the colouring going until I've got this. This is the 1 or the 2, which means I can go back to the colouring and I can say that is not, those are not 1s and 2s. These are not 1s and 2s. This is a 1, 2 pair, which mean that they are yellow and I can connect them up. Because I couldn't put 1 or 2 in those because of the 1, 2 I've already got in the row. This is not 1, whoops, no, wrong mode again. I am modally challenged. This is not 1 or 2. These are not 1 or 2. So these are 1 and 2. And now I've got all of the 1s and 2s, and they've all got partners. 1, 2 connected. 1, 2 has an X. 1s, 2s have an X. 1, 2s have an X. 1s, 2s have an X. 1, 2s have an X. 1s, 2s all have X's. So what I can do is I can go into highlighting mode and I can get rid of all of the coloring. All of the 1s and 2s have X's now. I have X'd my 1s and 2s. So this 14 cage does not have 1 or 2 in it at all. So it's 3, 4, 7 or 3, 5, 6. I'm not sure, but this 17 cage does have a 1 or a 2 in it. So the other two digits, if it's a 1, they sum to 16, which is 9, 7. And if it's a 2, they sum to 15, which is 7, 8 or 9, 6. No, that's not it. This 14 cage doesn't have 1, 2 or 4 in it. So what are the minimums without 1, 2 and 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 6. So 3, 5 and 6 is 3, 5, 6, 14. 3, 5 and 6 is 14. This is 3, 5 and 6. So now I can do the same math. 14 plus, I could have done this before. I absolutely could have done this before. But 14 plus 3 is 17, plus 19 is, well, let's just add 20 and subtract 1. So 17, 37, 36. This needs to be a 9. And the digits that are left over is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 7, and 8. 4, 7, and 8 sum to 19. This 9 does very little. Four is in one of those two. Can I put a 4 in a 21 cage? 4 would mean the others are 17. They'd be 8 and 9. I think I can. But there's no 4 in this 15 cage anymore, because 4 is seen by all of those. So this has to have a 3 in it. So it's 3 plus another 12, which was, I can't use 9, 3, 8, 4, or 5, or 7, 5. So it's 3, 8, 4, or 3, 5, 7. No, I'm not seeing it. 384 or 357. This triple maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7, 8, and 9. I'm not sure. I don't know where to look. So 20 cage. I'm really tempted to fall back on the calculator. Pardon me. Because I'm not sure how many options there are if I don't use 1 and 2. Let's bring up the calculator. So if I remove all the options that use 1 and 2, I'm actually only down to 3 options. 2 options. Because there are 6 ways of making up a 20. If you calculate cages with 5 digits or more than like 3 or 4, just they're still outside the realm of my ability to do in my head. Like, unless I've already got some digits. But looking at this cage, there are 6 ways of making up 20 in 5. 4 of them use 1 and 2. So I've only got 1, 3, 4, 5, 7 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3, 4, and 5 must be in this cage, and they can't be in those cells. So this is 3, 4, and 5. There's no 6 there. This is 3, 4, and 5 with either 1, 7 or 2, 6. So there's no 8 there. This is 1, 7 or 2. There's no 6 in this cage. So this is 1, 7, 3, 4, 5. This is 2. This is 1. This 1 makes this 2, which makes this 1, which makes this 2, which makes this 1, which makes this 2, which makes this 1, which makes this 2. And now I'm just down to these, which aren't resolved yet. But this is 3, 4, 5. 6 is definitely in one of those two. It's nifty. Now this, it must have 1 or 2 in it. So if this is 1, this must be 9, 7. And this would be 8. Well, hang on, there's no 7 in here. So this would be 9, 7. If this is 1, this is 9, 7. If this is 2, this is either 9, 6 or 8, 7. So this is only 6 or 7. Seven is in here somewhere. These sum to 13. So it's 9, 4. Hang on, wait a minute. That's a 4 by killer logic. So there's no 4 in there. This is the 4, which takes 4 out of there, which puts 4 into there, which takes 4 out of those. Now this is a 7, 8. Not sure yet. Now I've got some stuff going on here. Where is 9 in this column? 9 is right there. Because I can't put 9 in those because of the 9. Can't put 9 in those because of the 9, 8, 9. And that can't take a 9. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 and 8. Not helped me yet, but yes, it has, because it makes that the 7 and that the 8. And now 7 must go in one of those two. 3 is in one of those two. This is a 3-5 pair. Because 3-5, 3-5, this is a 1 or a 2. This is a 3-5 pair. So this is a 6 or a 7 as well. So that's a 6-7 pair. This is a bit weird. Bit weird. Very bit weird. But these sum to 13. So they're not 9, 4 because there's a 4 there. 8, 5 or 7, 6. If this is 6, this is 7, because these would have to sum. This is 6, these would sum to 8, and I couldn't use 7, 1. Or 2, 6. So these would be. If this is 6, these have to sum to 8. The only way to do that is with either 1, 7, 2, 6, or 3, 5, and I can't do it. This is not the 6. This is the 6. This is not a 6. This is not a 6. So now there is a 4 in here. There's a 4 in the cage. So the others sum to 10. And I can't do 4, 5, 5. So this is, if this is a 5, this is 4 and 5. And it just doesn't work because the others would have to sum to 9, including a 4. And it'd be 4, 5. And I'd have 4, 5, 5, and I am completely broken. So that's a 3, that's a 5, that's a 3. These sum to 11, including a 4. So they are 4 and 7, and that is not a 7. This 3, ages ago, took 3 out of there, making that the 3. The 5, 6 looked back, making this 8 and this 6. That probably simplified this whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is a 9. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 and 8. Which means this is not 8, because where does 8 go in this column? It can't go in any of those. So 8 is in actually one of those two, and that is not an 8. There's probably more I can do, but I like that 4 looking down, making that the 7 and that the 4, which means there's no 7 in those, and that is the 7, which of course making this 6. And these now have to sum to 11, which is 9 too. This is 2 and 9. It's the only way to make it the sum work. So this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 1. The 6 makes this 7. This is a 3, 5 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8 or 9. This is 8 because of the 9. This 9 makes this 8 and this 9, which makes this 8. And now this doesn't have an 8 in it. So it's got a 3, and it can't have an 8. So it's got 12, which is either, I can't use 9, 3. I can't use 8, 4. So it's got to be 7, 5. So this is 3, 7, 5. And there's no 7 there. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 6, and 9. And there's no 4 or 9 there. That's the 6. And I take 6 out of those. That is a 4, 9 pair. That takes 6 out of there, which works for the 7 being in there. Yeah, okay, yep. It's reinforcing my beliefs. This 3 looks at making this 5, which makes this the 3, which makes this the 6, which works for this 3, 5 pair as well. The 5 looks down, making this 8 and this 5. Now, this 5 and 7 means that that's 6. These are 7, which means that has to be a 7 to make the total, which means this is 8. These columns are all completable. 1, 2, I need to put a 3 somewhere, and it's there. 4, 5 somewhere, and it's there. 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, the 5 takes the 5 out of there. The 3 takes the... This is the 5 because of the 3, 6. This is not a 5. That's as far as I go for now. This is 3 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Now, this is an 8, so these have to sum to 13. So this is a 4, 9 pair, which means that's not a 9. The 5 here takes the 5 out of those. This is a 3, 7, so this is the 5, which looks down, making this 6 and this 5. The 8 looks down, making that 7, which takes 7 out of those, but it also looks up, making that the 3 and that the 7. The 3 looks up, making that the 6, which jumps over here, making this 3 and this 6. Choreography. Every good musical needs choreography. Sorry, I distracted myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 5. So in this row, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 and 8. Those are 3 and 8. I'll use that 3 to make that 8 and that 3. The 8 looks down, making that 9 and that 8. The 9 looks up, making that 4 and that 9, which looks up, making that 4. Use that 3 to make that 5 and that 3. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 go in there. And I'll use that 7 to make that 9 and that 7. And that is It Must Be Nice to Have Washington on Your Side. So he's doubled the size of the government. It wasn't our trouble with much of the previous government size. Wow. Yeah. If there's a fire you're trying to douse, you can't put it out from inside the house. I'm in the cabinet. I'm complicit in watching and grabbing and power and kissing it. Washington isn't going to listen to discipline dissidents. This is the difference. This kid is out. I'm out of practice. I have not done that in months. Very, very cool. I liked that puzzle. I really like little off-the-cuff constraints like 1s and 2s must be adjacent to each other, and being able to do that colouring and figuring out where they had to go, and then being able to use that to force the killer. Those little twists are absolutely gorgeous. I must prefer those in many ways to sort of big, sort of overarching, complex constraints. They're just nice and fun to find. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series, and yeah, as always, good luck with your solving.